with a moment of prayer and supplication, and we close on the song that says, I'll be there right away.
Yes.
That when you need him, he'll be there. He'll take care of your needs.
Yes.
Who wouldn't serve a God that takes care of every need that they have?
Yes.
I'll be there right away. Oh, see, all in my text, all in my stuff, so it's time to preach. 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 6. Right away, by the way, is a relative term. Second Kings chapter 6, and we'll begin reading in verse 26. God, how we love you, and we thank you afresh for the time. God, we appreciate all that you're doing. We appreciate how you're moving in our lives, setting us up for things that we didn't even know were possible, oh God.
Yes, God.
God, right now, in this preaching moment, we ask that you hide me behind the cross and let the people see Jesus only. Forgive me for my many sins, oh God. Make us ready, receptive, and responsive to your word.
Yes, God.
This we pray, in the name that is above all names. In Christ Jesus' name we pray. We say, Amen.
Amen.
2 Kings chapter 6, verse 26. And it reads that as the king of Israel was passing on the wall, a woman cried out to him, saying, My lord the king, help! But he said, If Adonai doesn't help you, how would I help you? From the threshing floor or from the winepress? Then the king asked her, What's the matter with you? She answered, This woman said to me, Give your son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we cooked my son and ate him. The next day I told her, Give your son that we may eat him, but she hid her son. Now it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he tore his clothes as he was passing by on the wall. The people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth underneath upon his flesh. Then he said, May God do to me, and even more, if the head of Elijah, the son of Shaphat, remains on him today. Now Elisha was sitting in his house, and the elders were sitting with him. The king had sent the messenger ahead, yet even before the messenger arrived, Elisha said to the elders, Do you see this son of a murderer was sent to take away my head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold the door fast against him. Is not the sound of his master's footsteps behind him? While he was yet talking with them, behold, the messenger came down. So the king said, Look, this evil is from Adonai. Why should I wait for Adonai any longer? You may be seated. Why should I wait for Adonai any longer? Look at your neighbor and just say, I'm tired of waiting.
I'm tired of waiting.
Oh, y'all quiet this morning. I'm tired of waiting.
I'm tired of waiting.
Musician William McDowell has a song out. The song is wonderful. It says, I don't mind waiting. And for most of us, that's a lot. We mind waiting. We mind waiting on our spouses. We mind waiting on our kids. We mind waiting at work. We just mind waiting. We want everything instantly. And to wait on God means to be uncertain. So it's great that William that got there and he got his revelation that waiting on God is the greatest thing. But most of us mind waiting. How many movie plots have the scenario of one of the characters telling another character, wait right here and don't move? The character being told not to move becomes frustrated, does not listen, and ultimately gets themselves in trouble. How many of us have been that character where God says, wait right there and don't move? And we got tired of waiting right there and we moved, and then trouble comes and it's like, oh, if I had just stayed where God told me to be. There is an expectation of how long our wait should be. And if the wait supersedes our anticipation, we become frustrated. We get frustrated when our spouses take too long. We get frustrated when the children take too long. We get frustrated when we go out with our friends and they take too long. But when it's us, we'll read anybody who has an attitude for us taking too long. Oh, y'all be quiet. The double standards of making people wait. When we wait, it's the end of the world. I used to tell my wife all the time, I'm like, please don't be late. I said, it's human nature. When she said, come get me from work, because every car that passes that's not you just makes me more frustrated. So while you're standing there waiting, and anytime you see a car come around the corner and it's not your car, your level of passivity just continues to rise. Because they should be here already. And that's how we are with God. When we see somebody else get blessed and we think it's our turn to get blessed, we catch an attitude with God because why wasn't it me? When is my turn going to come? Waiting means there's a level of expectation. I'm waiting because something should be coming. Something is on the way. But what do you do when it doesn't arrive on your timetable? God, I wanted my own house by now. God, I wanted to be married by now. God, I thought I'd be out of debt by now. God, I thought my life would be different by now. God, I thought I'd be past this stretch of trouble and stress by now. And here we are. Frustrated, still there, still in our situations, wondering when our by now is coming. You ever filed a grievance with God and his reply was silence? Went to God and said, you know what, I'm sick of this. And he didn't say nothing back to you. I'm tired of this. And you get no response. You ever fasted and God ain't said nothing in the 3 days you decided to fast? And all that does is make us more frustrated, more angry. Because why aren't you saying anything to me? How frustrating is the silence of God? He who has all the answers chooses not to speak. And all I'm begging for is a whisper. And he's choosing not to speak. And when our faith wanes, I go to plan B. Watch this. Plan B, if you don't remember nothing else today, plan B is always dysfunctional behavior. Oh, y'all. When you ignore what God has told you to do, when you ignore when God has said stand fast, when you ignore when God has put you in a place and you decide, I'm going to take over, plan B is always dysfunctional behavior. Why is it dysfunctional behavior? Dysfunctionality is deviating from your principles. We have principles for a reason, absent of emotion, absent of you trying to figure things out on your own. So it's just, I don't know about you, I've had some dysfunctional behavior. I've done some things contrary to the will of God and seeing that my way is not the right way, and this is why it's dysfunctional, because I'll get in trouble the next time and try to be dysfunctional again.
Right.
Dysfunctional behavior. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now faith. Our problem is now faith has a time limit. When I'm expecting something and it don't show up, okay, initially I won't flip out. Okay, my God is a God who does things, okay, I'll be good. I won't flip out. But then if the next time I expect it to be there, it's not there, my patience is a little different. And then if the third time I think it should be done, and it still ain't done, then now I'm throwing chairs. Because how long should it take for something that I feel like should already be done to be done? Oh, y'all gonna be quiet. I was expecting something to be done and something to be taken care of this past week, and then got a phone call and said it wasn't gonna be done. And it wasn't my fault. And all you can do is say, God, you know. Because you know it, everything is lined up. You know what I had planned to do. I had already talked to you about it. So you made decisions and ain't told me nothing. Okay. Don't y'all see? Don't y'all hear when God is a change of plan and you don't know to the moment of.
Right.
And you say, okay, I just gotta ride with it because I'm telling you, I'm learning. He does stuff and then you'll realize it on the back end.
Right.
We had a situation last month where everything was good and they moved the meeting and God, I wonder why they moved that meeting. And then I found out later why they moved that meeting. It was to my benefit. And see, what happens is when we waiting don't seem like it's too, oh,
Yeah.
So our now faith has a time limit. I have now faith right now, but then, watch. We go to a restaurant, there's a level of expectation. How long you gonna take to get here to give me my drink? How long you gonna take to come take my order? How long is it gonna take for that order to get to the table? And then it better be hot when it get here. My silverware better not have those. We have all these expectations and wait. And then if any one of them is messed up, we don't like that spot no more. Oh, I would mess with y'all. See, what happened if we come to your house and then the silverware is messed up? Oh, see, we gonna be quiet. We gonna be quiet now. What happened if we come to your house and the chicken breast ain't cooked all the way through? See, y'all ain't real. What's actually more ironic for the believer is not to see and become frustrated. Watch this. Seeing was never part of the equation. So, for me to see God moving on my behalf was never part of faith. For me to see what's coming down the line was never. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Yeah.
See, we can change the definition. So I don't believe until I see. You know, we say seeing is believing. That ain't biblical. Oh, yeah. That's not Bible. Bible is believing and seeing when it ain't there. So our struggle comes in when I'm in the tunnel of life and I don't see no end, but I say, God, I know there's light on the other side. But it gets hard waiting on that light. Oh, y'all gonna be quiet today. This text, when we're teetering in our faith, and when we're struggling in our faith, we can't handle bad news. Oh, maybe that was just the king in me. We can't. When you struggling and things is going wrong and everything around you seems to be falling apart, you ever been there? They say, give me one more bad phone call. One more somebody that passed away. One more somebody got cancer. One more somebody that lost their job. One more. See, we strong, and then we have these breaking points. When she came to him and said that she just ate somebody else's son, that was his breaking point. Because God, okay, what's going on? And then catch the text. He thought he was already doing something because when he ripped his clothes, he had on sackcloth and ashes already. So he was trying. God, I'm praying already in private. I'm fasting in private. So he's already thinking that he's doing something. And then this lady comes to him with the most horrible story he can imagine. And it breaks him. And this is where the dysfunctional behavior starts. This is why it's important to, when we are struggling, to be surrounded by some people that's uplifting. That's Christ-like. That's going to speak into you and not pour it. You know, you got to have some people with some common sense around you like, he can't take no bad news. Don't tell him that right now.
Come on now.
See, let's be real. Sometimes you just need some discernment to say, okay, I know that's going on, but let's not drop that bomb today.
Right.
And he couldn't take that bomb that day, and it pushed him over the edge. The two women. Y'all about to get mad at me now. But the two women who lack faith in the text, and you say, Pastor, how do I know that they lack faith? Well, we already talked about before God will supply all your needs according to your riches and glory. So, these two women went with a dysfunctional plan, and we're going to eat each other's kid. Now, on the surface, that sounds dysfunctional. I don't know how we begin to comprehend that I'm going to boil your child, and we just going to eat you. I don't know, but see, they must have been super hungry. So there was a need there, but they turned to the wrong place. And how do I know that? Because when the woman was just enough flour to make one cake, God showed up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, y'all see, y'all.
Come on, yeah.
When the widow had just the vessel of oil and didn't know what to do with it, was going to take her sons, God showed up.
Yeah.
When Ishmael cried out and he was with his mother, they was in the desert and they had no food, no water, no nothing. God showed up. So if there's a relationship and a consistency and we know where to go, God was, so I have to believe that they didn't know how to turn to God in their moment of desperation. So we know that God will show up. So from that, these women turn to the wrong person, each other, and the best they can come up with is we're going to bully each other's kids. They tell you all you need to know about their level of common sense. Oh, yes, you see, it's going to be quiet.
Yeah.
See, they became desperate and their plan B was a disaster. Dysfunctionality will never get you out of trouble.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to say that again. Your dysfunctionality will never get you out of trouble. All it was going to do is make life worse. When you walk away from the principle and you start being dysfunctional, you dig your own ditch. And then you say, okay, I told that lie, but I got to tell this lie to cover that lie. And you just keep digging. And it just keeps getting worse. And you say, how did I get here? It starts with one small thing and turns into this huge thing. And that's how our message gets so big. You allow something small to start it, and then it turns into this huge thing. So we got the king, and he flips out. Now this is important. The king knows who God is. When he acknowledges the woman, he said, what can I do for you that God can't do for you? He's trying the sackcloth and ashes. He's trying everything. And he understands how powerful God is, because if you go before this story, he's winning a war because God is showing up and telling Elisha everything. So he has no military expertise. God is just saying, this is where they're going to be, don't go there. So he knows God and he knows what God can do. But when he became frustrated, he wasn't thinking about that. So the same God that he's serving and he's praying to and he just acknowledged in his text, he turns his back on when it got hard. And we're going to get quiet and be like, Pastor, I ain't never did that. I ain't never turned my back on God. Our actions would dictate, that's a bald-faced lie. Our actions dictate that if I do purposely contrary, what I know is opposite of the text, what I'm telling God is your way is not good enough. Your standard is not good enough for me. You're not moving fast enough. So I'm going to turn my back on you in this instance and do it in my own way. See, when we look at everybody else's situation, we think it's worse than ours, and no, it's the same thing. The consequences may be different, but it's the same thing. So out of frustration, he felt like, I can't reach God, but I can reach God's man. So I'm going to try to kill Elisha. So he makes this dysfunctional decree that if I don't kill Elisha, by the end of the day, what happened to them kids will happen to me. And they go see Elijah, and if you keep reading, Elijah says, by tomorrow, a pound of flour is going to cost this, and this is going to cost that. And the soldier says, that's impossible. And he says, okay, you'll see that it's not impossible. And the soldier does see, and then it's the end of the soldier. What I want us to get from this text, and what I want us to see, is God supplied the need of the people. What happened is the army that was waiting on the outside, God scared them so bad they just ran off and left everything. Watch this. There was no war. There was no fighting. God freaked them out so bad they just ran off. We don't need to be here. And they left everything. And through plunder, they were able to survive. But watch this. The drought wasn't over. Y'all gonna get it in a minute. God showed up, showed who he is, and but you're still in the situation. So ain't no rain come. Ain't no harvest in the crops. The ground ain't changed. When the stuff comes gone from the plunder, we still in the drought. Sometimes God answers you, but it's not the way you want to be answered. Y'all. Sometimes when you're being silent because he's already told you what to do and you just don't want to hear it. And so he's basically saying, refer back to my last instructions. Because we didn't want to hear that. We want new orders. Can I give you a secret? Every time God gives us a command, don't mean you gonna like it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Catch that one. Every time God tells you to do something that's for your benefit, don't mean you gonna like it. Come here, gentlemen. For your benefit, don't mean you gonna like it. Told the prophet, you gotta lay on your side for 300 and something. Don't mean you gonna like it. And then when that was over, okay, that was just for Israel. Now you gotta lay on your other side for you. Don't mean you gonna like it. Come here, Jesus. Okay, God, can this cup be removed from me because I don't like it? This ain't the way I want to go. And the point I tell people all the time is Jesus knew that all power was on the other side and still didn't want to go through it. So I knew I'd be redeemed with my Father. I knew all power, heaven and earth, be in my hand. But at that moment, it wasn't worth all that. I don't want to go through all that.
Yeah.
So when God comes and he tells you your next instruction and you don't like it, just get in line. Because everybody don't always like it. Oh, y'all quiet right now. Sometimes the instruction that God brings for you are difficult. Surprise, surprise. Sometimes he can bring something to you that's going to make you better later, but you don't want to deal with it right now. And so in our frustration, we become dysfunctional. In our frustration, we run. And so in your tired of waiting, what we do is make waiting longer. And ask Abraham, in your tired of waiting, okay, we're going to go have Ishmael. And it made your waiting longer because Ishmael is not the promise. So you jumped ahead of God, messed with Haggai, and now the struggle is harder. And watch, it was never an Abraham problem because when Sarah dies, Abraham has at least 3 more kids. He's like 100 years old, popping them out like an. So it was never an Abraham problem. It was God saying, oh, y'all gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's when God wants to. And our problem is we think our timing is better than his. Well, if you did it for me right now, he ain't did it because you ain't ready. If you did it for me right now, see, there's some stuff that God gave you right now that you're going to be ready for later, that if he gave it to you right now, you'd mess it up.
Right. Yeah.
So true.
You mess up what God has set up for you. Sometimes the waiting is just preparing you for something that you're going to need to be ready for later. But can I wait? See, the mindset of William McDowell, and I don't mind waiting, is that I can't be better than his time.
Yeah, say that.
See, it's a hard mindset to get to, but God, I can't do better than perfect. I can't outthink you.
Right.
So here we are in our season of transition and moving and doing everything. Where are we trying to outthink God? Because I don't want to wait till he said, I've been here too long and here ain't where I want to be. And God looks at you and says, no, not yet. Where have we been disobedient and got frustrated like the king because it was too much. Too much at one time. It just kept coming. He said, okay, you know what, I'm tired. But let's be real, we didn't all have sinned and come short, but we didn't all got to the literal point where it became too much and we just sat down on God. You know, I done tried living right. I ought to have cussed them folk out. I encouraged them. I'm paying my tithes. I'm doing this. And yet and still, the more I try to do good, the worse things seem to get. I'm just going to go back to the old me. And then we get there, we don't like that either. God, I'm tired of waiting, but if you ain't said move, I'll stay right here.
All right.
Oh, see, y'all can get it. That's got to be your decree to yourself. Yeah. See, we declaring and decreeing all this stuff, and we ain't got no power to declare. You got to declare some stuff to yourself that you can control. Yes. God, I'm tired of waiting, but until you tell me to move, yes, I ain't going nowhere. And while I'm here, I'm going to bless your name. And while I'm here, I'm going to worship you. And while I'm here, I'm going to praise you. Because it don't have to be as good as it is. So while I'm here, I'm still going to bless you.
Yes, yes. All right.
Because no, I don't like it. But in every situation, I'm learning to be,
yeah.
See, God, why am I here? Why am I here? So I need to figure out why I'm here so I can get to the next step. I'm too busy talking about I don't like it, and this get on my nerves, and that get on my nerves, and they vexing me, and I ain't figured out yet why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing. Too many believers' lives is like Groundhog Day, movie with Bill Murray, where you just keep living the same day over and over and over, and then we get like Bill Murray, we just start playing. We just start doing stupid stuff because I've been here and I know what's going to happen. But we haven't figured out why we're here. Why am I stuck in this cycle? There's a point, there's a reason. But y'all don't get in that movie. He spends about 3 years in that cycle. Playing around, trying to figure out things until he figures it out. So the movie's an hour and a half long, but he spends literally a physical 3 years in the same day. Spiritually speaking, we do the same stuff. Years in the same cycle. And God's waiting for us to get it. We keep doing the same stupid stuff. And you end back up, same place. God, I don't want to be in the same place no more. So why am I here? See, I don't believe that anything happens by accident. So there's a reason why I'm here right now at this moment, doing this thing right now. There's a reason why God says no when he says no. There's a reason why God says yes when he says yes. And it's my job to go to him and figure that out. So in our devotion this week, God, why am I stuck? Oh, commercial Bible study for the next several weeks. It's from a book called Stuck. We're going to get unstuck.
Say that.
Because we're going to find out that some of the stuff we stuck with is we choosing to stay with. And God ain't said, y'all going to be quiet. So this Wednesday, if everybody healthy, unlike last week, we're going to have Bible study at 7, and we're going to deal with being stuck mentally, being stuck emotionally, being stuck physically, financially, whatever, we're going to get unstuck. And that's our problem. We use stuckness as an excuse. There ain't nothing you stuck in that God can't get you out. Oh, no.
All right, all right.
Nothing. I don't care who done it, how long you been there, what the issues are. Ain't nothing that you in that God can't get you out of. And to watch this, the first step is you got to want to get out of it.
That's right. Amen.
I ain't talking about what you say. I'm talking about your actions have to say that I don't want to be here anymore.
Yes.
So when we talk to God, because God, I'm tired of waiting, but I'm waiting on you. I'm not moving without you. Because what's the alternative? Oh, see, that's what we got to get to. Yeah, I'm frustrated, but what's the alternative? See, the way we process is just amazingly backwards. There's some stuff that we'll know that the alternatives, like, okay, for example, there's ham, and the alternative to ham is Spam. Y'all know we ain't going to the alternative because most of us don't like Spam. They think, and so in your mind, Spam is unacceptable. don't bring that in my house. You set that standard, right? You got standards on what type of clothes you wear, what type of food you eat. And the alternative to that is unacceptable. But somehow in life, in stuff that really matters, the alternative to living right, well, I'll deal with that. I'll be outside of the will of God. That's acceptable. I'll do something directly contrary to what the Word of God says. That's acceptable. We get caught up on the wrong stuff. The stuff that don't mean nothing, we got so-called standards for. And the stuff that means everything, we have no standards. Oh, Pastor, preaching real life, it got quiet now. Waiting is frustrating. Waiting is annoying. I remember catching the bus and you be standing in the street waiting. The bus stop over here, you come over here like this gonna make me come fast. And you looking down the road, wait, oh God. You do all kinds of stuff to make yourself feel comfortable while you wait. Actually, I remember waiting for the 30, and the 30 was never on time. And you standing on University like, Lord Jesus, it's hot. I remember where, and you know, it ain't nothing, oh, watch this. It ain't nothing like when the bus come and it's full and it bypass you. Lord Jesus. And you just standing there hot like fire. There ain't nothing you can do. Waiting is frustrating, but it's necessary. See, we can try to make this thing so cookie cutter and so sweet that everything we're going to do in Christendom is nice and it's fun and it's flowers. Yeah, having the streets paved with gold, we ain't there yet. Down on this side, there's some stuff that you ain't going to like. Because waiting is part of our growing in Christ. We be like, oh, God, I want to know you. Okay. God, I want to be close to you. God, I give myself away. All that stuff sounds real cute. And then when you find out what it means, oh, Lord. Watch this. As uncomfortable as it is at times, there's no place I'd rather be. As frustrating as it can be at times, there's no place I'd rather be. Because we got to get to the point that outside of his will is just not an option.
Yeah. Amen.
Outside of his will is, I don't even want to know. Okay, y'all, that's what y'all want to do. Go ahead and do that. That's how you feel about it. Go ahead and do that. But as for me and mine and what he done told me, I'm going to stay right here until he tell me to move.
All right. Amen.
Stand on your feet.